Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Higher Education has welcomed the submission of the selection panel for 21 SETA board chairpersons. Minister Nobushle Nkabane submitted the list after missing previous deadlines. Concerns were also raised over appointments after politically connected figures, including ANC chairperson Gwede Mantashe's son, were initially concluded. The committee will now engage the minister on how the appointments were made. All right, let's bring in the Portfolio Committee on Higher Education's chairperson, Tebogo Letsie. Thanks very much for your time. I suppose this is a welcome change of cooperation, given the minister's previous engagement with the Portfolio Committee.
Indeed, good afternoon, correct yourself, to the viewers of Newzroom Afrika, and thanks for having us. I think the Portfolio Committee is pleased that the minister submitted the list. You'll remember that we were given until the 11th of June. And to her defense, I think when she wrote to us on the 11th of June, she did not refuse to give us the name. She just was worried, according to her letter, about the legitimacy of her releasing the list without engaging those particular people. We welcomed the release yesterday of the names, and this morning members criticized or scrutinized the independency of the list, because if you look at the list that should have released, you had two people who work for the department and two people who work in the office, and members were scrutinizing the independency of that particular panel today.
So, Tebogo, the list that the minister has now submitted, it's the panel names for the selection of these board chairpersons. Now, when the minister was before the Portfolio Committee the last time as well, she refused to divulge the names of the panel of advisors who would have been helping in making the appointments to the boards of SETAs. Does the Portfolio Committee have that information as well, this advisory panel?
Yeah, she has given us those people, and these are the names that I've said. One of them, Dr. Ulani Ngwenya, is a DDG in the Department of Higher Education and Training. Mr. Mabuza Ngubane is a Chief Director, SETA Coordination, with Mr. Asisi Posolani, who is the advisor to the minister, and the Chief of Staff of the minister, who works obviously in the office of the minister. And then we have the chairperson of that committee, Advocate Motau, who, according to the letter the minister wrote to us, did not attend any of the meetings. And that is why the committee today resolved that we ought to write to all of them to try and explain, because it doesn't make sense that a senior counsel would be appointed and not attend any of the meetings.
You're talking about Advocate Terry Motau?
Yes, Advocate Terry Motau, who's the chair there, would not have attended any of the meetings. And from one sitting, it does not make sense. Why would that be the case? But the committee resolved that we must bring all of them before the committee. They've instructed me to look at the best possible date, given that currently we're dealing with a period of APPs, because by latest 3 April, we must debate the budget of higher education. So we'll try and find a date so that we can bring them before the committee with the minister, deputy ministers, and the director general.
Right. And you know, the Portfolio Committee has talked a lot about the importance of transparency, particularly in institutions that are public funded. But when the Portfolio Committee takes a look at this list, what in particular will the committee be looking at?
So you'll remember that the bone of contention when we met with the minister and the department on the 30th of May 2025, the bone of contention was that this process was beyond reproach, one. Number two, the panel that would have assisted the minister was said to be independent. And number three is that these are people who would have worked in the sector for some time, and they've got serious credibility in the sector. So these are the issues. I mean, members this morning were saying they don't believe now that everything else that was said in that meeting was actually true. I mean, there was a move by some for myself as the portfolio committee chair to open the case against the minister for misleading the meeting on that day by some members of the committee. So members believe that they ought to have a discussion with the minister on the ministry, the minister and her two deputies, including the department, on what would have happened when this process, was done the first time around.
I mean, there's no overstating, Tebogo, just how important the job is of these chairpersons it's the sector education training authorities. This is not a light task.
No, it's not. I mean, if you look at my argument has always been that SETAs can play a critical role in reducing unemployment in this country, can be a serious driver, a cost driver of the economy of this country. And these SETAs, if they are done correctly, if they follow what they're supposed to be doing, I mean, we would be easily producing about 30,000 artisans in this country. So it's a very serious job. The SETAs have got a very serious responsibility in making sure that the targets that President Cyril Ramaphosa speaks about are easily met. This is, they can play a serious role in making sure that those things are met, those targets are met.
Certainly, and when it comes to the unemployment rate in our country, we certainly can use all the help we can get. Joining us is Tebogo Letsie, a Portfolio Committee on Higher Education, the chairperson there.